Number one then, and number one now.
You're listening to Heffron and Reep. Heffron and Reep. Rated #1 podcast by the World Podcasting Federation and the Podcast Ranking Association. No, for reals. It says it right here.
This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
See, once again, kids, it sounded perfect. I was hitting that stuff I was like a maestro. I was like conducting it perfectly with almost flawlessness. And the first thing out of my mouth is the mic not on. Listen, you know what I mean? Let's just strive to be a little bit better. That's all I ask. It's the Heffron and Reep Show with just John Heffron. Jon Reep is away. Hold on, let me get this out of the way.
You're listening to Heffron and Reep. One of the Johns is out, so per their agreement, when one's gone, the other will talk positive about them and plug dates for them in their absence for 15 seconds starting now.
Everybody, please go to @JonReep on Twitter. Go to @JonReep.com. Jon Reep is a movie star, so he can't be here. Go see him. He's very funny. Say hi to him on Twitter, @JonReep.
Okay, now back to the show.
That's how we do this.
Well done.
I have
Well
my
done.
guest. I'm going to switch up this right. I have my guest with us this show. Very lovely, talented Tammy Pescatelli is on the left, and in front of me, the lovely and talented Alonzo Bodden. You might recognize all of our names from 1973
On Welcome Back, Kotter.
when we were on Welcome Back, Kotter together.
We were extras. We were students. Remember that class?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
I was Hotsy Totsy.
Yeah, I think that was the season we were on. I think was the best Welcome Back, Kotter season ever.
It was.
I
the
didn't
up your
expect
nose.
Boom Boom to be the breakout black guy, but he did it.
Do you realize we were on Last Comic all together now? Almost.
Don't even say it.
Do you realize how long it's been?
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
Do you realize
We started
it's-
auditioning almost, it'll be almost 10 years. Because it was about a year process of the auditions.
Do you guys still use it as an intro when do you care? Do you not care?
I don't, because you guys won, so you can say winner. I don't, because everybody uses Last Comic, even if they were just in the early parts of Last Comic.
I don't use it, but people will use it. You know what I mean? Like when they introduce you. Like I just did this fundraiser, and they have somebody from the group introduce you, and that's the first thing they want to say, winner from Last Comic Standing. I like using guy who happens to be here. That's, you know.
I also think by the time you get there, no one cares what you've done. They're already there.
Yeah, because people are kind of like, I've tried to do that as an intro, where I just tell whoever's bringing me up, just say John Heffron. Because I think that's kind of a baller move, is not to give any intro whatsoever.
Right.
But, in the UK, they're like, why do you Americans do that?
Right. Well, that's how they
don't
used to
give
do it.
any history or, he's been on or she's done. They're like, just give the name.
Right.
Who cares what you've done? It's what you're going to do
Now.
in the next hour,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Yeah.
But do you use that, or if they don't give you an intro, if somebody just says that, ladies and gentlemen, okay, the feature leaves, ladies, blah, 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 Tammy Pescatelli. Does that throw you off at all before you get on stage, or do you need to hear some stuff that you've done just to amp your own self up before you get on stage?
No, I don't need it, but I needed to know how much time it's going to take me to walk to the stage, because I hate not timing the walk to the stage correctly to continue the applause.
It's uncomfortable, that walk.
Yeah.
I probably...
You had a recent walking incident.
Yeah, I
Tell me,
I
what
told
happened?
that at the last podcast where I had when I was on with the Muppets.
Right.
The wall didn't move properly. I was there. I was supposed to stand on an X. Wall moves up. I walk out right after Kermit introduces me. Kermit, by the way, my intro was, this guy's a real big fan of soccer. Was my intro from Kermit.
Okay.
I mean, it's Kermit the Frog. You really can't say anything, but it's like, where'd you get that from? Nowhere on any bio does it say I'm a soccer fan.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. And then the wall doesn't come up. Long story short, everyone cheers for me. Hey, guy loves soccer. Yay. Minute and a half goes by. Wall doesn't move. Wall finally goes up. Then I walk out to the mic to dead silence.
But they'll fix it. They'll fix it on the broadcast, but live it just sucked.
Live, it just sucked.
The only thing I hate when the intro, and you get this when you do colleges, when they say the name first.
Oh, it's the worst.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alonzo Bodden. He's won Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
He's been on the Tonight Show, blah, blah, blah.
Then
It's like, well,
this. Go ahead,
you
do
kinda,
it, and I'll do the applause.
Ladies
Right,
and
go ahead.
gentlemen, Alonzo Bodden. He's been on the Tonight Show and blah, blah, blah. I think he's got a call coming in on
We all have the
F's
same ringer, though.
podcast. No, I think this one's me.
that
And
you,
I'm
Joe?
actually going
I
to
think
take it,
I'm
John.
off.
Are you really going to take that? The call?
No.
I wouldn't do that.
No, what's uncomfortable
do
for
that to
me
you.
is the afterwards. I always tell whoever's hosting, when I say goodnight, you're on stage about as fast as possible.
Right.
For some reason, like sometimes when you do Canadian tours or if you do a theater, they make you go out for a curtain call.
Right,
Where
right.
everybody has to go back out there and wave again. Nothing gets me more nervous than going back out waving one more time after I just did a 45-minute show.
Right.
I hate it. I don't like hanging out there.
The
It
bow
bugs me.
or whatever. Listen,
I don't know why.
You know how like there's certain things that happen and you feel great, and then I guess at least in my life, the moment something good happens and something takes me down a notch, like I'll never be so egotistical. Like I was doing the Lucy Fest, right? And I told you guys I was working with Lucy Arnaz, the legendary, right? And I get a standing ovation, and I walk off stage, and she goes, "Come back, come back." They're standing for you. So I go back out to say, just give them a wave, and they close the curtain on me. I was like, so it doesn't matter as good as you can get, then something takes you right back down.
Now, how is your heckling thing going, Tammy Pescatelli? Just on a side note, maybe a couple weeks ago we talked to you where
Right.
a chick was douchey and tossed something at you.
Yeah, well, it's good now. I mean, I think they charged her, and I think it caused a lot of comics to talk. Real comics got it, I think. I was fine. I'm okay. It was just the whole idea that it just don't tell me that as a comic, I don't know, Zoe, I haven't really talked to you, but we
we
talked on the
talked
phone.
some,
Yeah.
but-
You can't tell me that I can provoke someone with my words and I'm responsible for someone being physically violent, because then that shuts us down effectively. Because how do I know what provokes someone? What if I tell a joke about lint and someone's father choked on a ball of lint? So that means they get to punch us in the face now?
Right.
There's no way to cover yourself when that's what the legal system says.
I mean, that's what's going on all through comedy, right? I mean, because it was just, I don't know if the timing of the incidents, right? But you had your incident.
It was Daniel on Tuesday, me on Thursday,
Tosh, you, then Eddie
on
Griffin,
Friday.
and then Dane Cook. So it was like 4 major things. And then we were talking about this Saturday night at the Laugh Factory. What's funny is we're being judged by people who aren't comics.
Yeah.
So when like a Steve Carell talks about it, it's like, whoa, you're a funny actor.
Yeah,
You're
don't
not
stop.
a comic. You never stand in a club in front of people and make them laugh. And it's a different thing, because when you're a comic when there are incidents with comics in the room, right? We all can relate because we've all been in that room. We've been in the room where somebody, maybe they didn't throw something at you, but they lost their mind and nothing was done about it. Or we've been in the situation where the comic makes a joke where, taken out of context, it would be a horrible thing to say. It's like, that was really funny
If you
Friday
read
at
it the
10
next
p.m.,
day.
but Monday at 11 on CNN, you sound like a fucked up person.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's,
swear jar. You have to put money in the swear
No,
jar.
I got it. But that's what...
I did not know this was a clean podcast.
No, you can swear, but when you swear, it does good.
Okay.
We donate $1, and we've already put in a bunch of money, so we're fine. Every time we say fuck or shit on the podcast, we give $1 to the Wounded Warrior. So far,
Nice.
Wonderful.
so far, me and
Nice.
Reep, we're $400 in.
Good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so yeah, but and then
So we
I
can
ding
swear?
just so people know
That
that
you
you
just gave.
actually did
Right.
good
All
by
right.
telling that
Ollie
story.
roll the toll.
I owe you $1.
Yeah, because people don't realize when how I look at hecklers is you're cancerous. Trust me, I have my stuff already in my head, what I want to say.
Right.
You jumping in will not enhance it. The thing you think of yelling was the first thing I thought of. That's why I'm saying the second and third thing.
That's right.
Because if you think the first thing funny, then that's not what's funny. So
Right.
I kind of got this covered. So I just consider it, you are just a big interruption to the show. And now, a lot of times, you verbally have to either beat that person down just to go, okay, so you're not going to shut up anymore. That's the only way you can
Right.
spar. Or now, I don't know if the trend is you just you have them bumped. You just go, you're done. You're out of here.
It's the
I'm not
worst.
even going to have a fun conversation with you because I don't know if you're in
crazy.
your early 20s.
I thought I was having fun with this lady.
Yeah, or if you're a young chick, you might start cutting yourself because I made fun of your hoodie.
Right.
I don't know. You don't know how to
And
handle
I'm
it.
so okay with that. Just give me credit for it. Just let me
here's what I
get
will
credit.
tell you. If you see a white lady over 40 with a flower in her hair and you're not in Hawaii, then you know some crazy shit's about
but
to happen.
you were
Ding it from me.
also in Florida, which has taken over as the absolute craziest state in the United States.
And so
Florida
one thing
is nuts. Like I told you, you should have stood your ground and shot her.
Right, I
Isn't
should
that what
have. The
told
next
you?
day, I
told
walked
you should
on
have stood your
stage.
ground and shot her. In Florida, would have said, okay.
The next day, I walked on stage in a short skirt and a hoodie with Skittles because I was like, if I'm provoking you, I'm getting laid before I get out of here. You know, it's the thing about it, though, is I did not think we were having a spar. There are times when you go hard at people and you deserve. Sometimes you know that they might be waiting for you.
Right.
You hold back. The whole thing that people don't understand, too, is that we don't even know you exist. It's the audience, your group. It's not some elitist mentality that comics have. We just know you as the audience. There's not individuals to us.
I look at the crowd as one
Right.
crazy like Star Trek entity of
That's
energy.
right.
It's one.
Yeah, it's the crowd.
And I address. Yeah, it's a crowd. It's not this table, but in every crowd, it's called subconscious group leaders. So. About every 50 people in a crowd has one person that's leading that group. So if one table is chatting, you've lost 50
That's
people.
right.
If one person is eating loud, you've lost. Or if one person is laughing loud, then everybody in that group will kind of do whatever that person's
Right.
doing. So as a comic, you have to look and go, if there's a cancerous person who is chatting here, I have to, for the greater good of the crowd, I have to eliminate that threat.
Right.
And I did it recently where somebody was loud, and I'm not a comic who goes after people. I go, you guys are being, I don't know, want to make you aware you're being disruptive, to so much so that I would like you to leave. And I'm going to pay for your entire drinks and your entire food if you say nothing to me as you get up and leave. If you get up and leave and say one thing to me, they're going to kick you out and hand you a bill. Now it's on you. They got up, and I go, boy, you want to say something to me right now, don't you? But you're not.
See, now you're antagonistic, right?
So she got about halfway to the door, then motherfucked me. You know what I mean? I'm like, give them the bill, and the whole place, went crazy.
Well,
so
but for the most part, the audience is with you because that person isn't just disturbing the comic on stage; they're disturbing all the people. I always talk about this in my show. Like the average person doesn't make $20 an hour. The median income in the United States is $22,000. That does not equal $20 an hour. So if my tickets are $20 a person, that means two people. That's $40. They got to buy drinks. A lot of people have kids. They got to have sitters. Sometimes they pay to park. There's gas. That means they worked an entire day to come see me for an hour and a half. I got to give them a show that's worth a day's worth of work in order for them to come back again. Because my livelihood now depends on that.
What I was going to say, the thing with dealing with hecklers, it's also where you are on the comedy food chain, right? Because years ago, when we were all in that, salaried headliner group, right, where nobody knows who you are, you're just a comic who's at the club that weekend.
Right.
You got to deal with hecklers because it's part of the job. And the audience accepts that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when you become a name, when you get the TV credits, when people come to see you, then they want to see you. Then they get mad because this heckler's taking away time from them seeing, like I came to see Alonzo or I came to see Tammy. Right. Now you're interrupting me seeing Tammy because I know who Tammy is. I want to see her act.
Right.
So what I do is I'll do a couple of lines with the heckler, like to shut them up. And I warn them. It's like, look, I do this every day.
You would think they would know
I'm going to win. There's no question that I'm better at this than you will ever be because you're just the drunk guy from the office showing off, for your table.
Right.
This is how I make my living. I will give you a name that will stay with you for as long as these people know you.
I say something you guys couldn't say.
Know.
I say, I might not have won on NBC, but I'm sure as hell going to win here.
Yeah. And the people get a good laugh, and I give you that. Like, you yelled out something, I shut you down, everyone got a good laugh. Now we move on,
Right.
you know, and I do political stuff, so,
Right. So you probably get heckled
invariably
more than-
I'll get that one right-wing person or that, you know, one I love Sarah Palin person, and they'll say something stupid, and I'll win that one, and then we move on. But when it becomes angry or poisons, obviously I'm a big guy, so I don't worry too
kinda
much about
menacing.
the physical.
Yeah.
The physical thing, they're not going to necessarily rush me.
No,
and
they're
I
not
tell them,
gonna,
if you're
so.
thinking about it, I'm a lot bigger up close. Like from the back of the club, he don't look that big, you know.
Don't you think, though, that you have to be the most dynamic person in the room, though? You have to.
Well, you can't ever let them know they rattle you, even if they do.
Right.
Even if they make you mad,
You know what?
you can't let them know that.
Tougher hecklers to deal with are the ones that, not the douchey ones, but
Women.
the ones that are but the ones that are just so excited to be there and they're having such a great time that they just kind of express. They're not doing it to be disruptive. They're not, and they're just like, you say something, and they're like, "Yeah, that's so fun. I do that." Like, so you can't be the dick who then shuts them down because they're just so happy to be there.
Right.
Those are the fine lines.
But those, you got to let them have their fun, because just like you said, Tammy, you know how much money they spent. Like we had that incident in Nashville, right, when we were on tour after Last Comic, where this woman she was losing it, you know, when we were on stage because she was so happy, and it kind of pissed Gary Goldman off, and Gary went off on her, and she left crying, like she literally broke down, you know. And then we go outside, and it's like, oh, they're on their honeymoon, they drove 300 miles to see you guys because they saw you on TV. We're like, oh man, it's like you just kicked a puppy.
But I had that happen.
But you have no way of knowing it.
And you forget as a comic or you just get, a little bit deep into it like we are, where you actually care about the crowd. I'm not one of these comics that get on stage and just eat it because I gotta say this and the audience isn't me. There was a guy at my show in Virginia Beach who they got in a car accident. A semi hit their car, they spun out, totaled the car, towed the car away. The guy looks at his wife and says, "We're still going to see John Heffron, right?" And the wife goes, "Why are you kidding me? Our whole night's, we just lost the car." He's like, "No, we'll just take a cab and then we'll figure it out." And then they came to the show. So the guy told me that, and I was like, can you imagine if that was a show I decided to phone it in? Or if that was the show that I got on stage and somebody was heckling me and I was like, blah, 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 blah. Which then just puts it in perspective, whereas I think as a comic, you need to throw 98 miles an hour every show.
Right.
Yeah, well,
you don't
do
have the luxury of going.
You do that for yourself, right? I mean,
well, I still love it. I fell back
so
in
do
love
I.
with it.
I don't,
so that's
people,
the problem.
When people say, "Oh, don't you love making people laugh?" It's like, well, yeah, that's a byproduct of what I do, but I just love doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like that. I'm not up there to feed my ego by making you laugh. I have something I want to say, and it comes out funny, and it's great when it does, but that can't be the driving force, I don't think.
Well, it's funny. This woman was right up front. So, like, what America doesn't understand, only a comic would understand. If she's right up front, I mean, literally right up front, to me, I equate that as someone who really wants to see me, because that's an advanced ticket sale with a credit card. That's not a,
Yeah, but they probably don't know how horribly offensive and mean your act really is.
That's
they,
and
they
that's
don't
the
know
other thing.
That Tammy Pescatelli, she's known for ripping heads off.
Who knew? Because that to me was what all the law enforcement thought.
Heffron and Reep. Subject change.
All right, so
good. Thank God, I'm done. I
went online recently and I wanted to see. Sometimes I will Google random ailments I have just to see if I have them.
Richard Lewis,
and that's a long list.
Yeah, and I'm convinced I have mesothelioma.
Can I say it now?
What?
That in the past 5 years.
Okay.
I don't know if it's. He always had spots of it.
He's become an old woman.
No, it's the OCD. It really
is that what it is?
It's
but
the
he
thought
had
process.
that. But he's
what I
full
think
on
I have.
become an old woman.
Here's what I think I have, because noises sometimes will get me almost irate and almost violent.
Asperger's.
No, the disease, I forgot to print it up, is called misphonia. It's some type of disease where if you hear somebody chewing loud, gulping, sometimes it's tapping their leg. You ever be around somebody who's like, "Quit tapping your leg"?
Right.
They have forms of it. Like if I'm at a show and I hear somebody snapping gum,
right,
nothing derails me more than hearing somebody eating loud or snapping gum during a show.
I wish you hadn't told me that before we do a show tonight. Because I'm going to find a pack of gum.
Right here. It's called misophonia. Unlike whatever, misophonia is a specific of certain sounds. Little is known about the automatic location of the psychological. Blah, 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 blah. What? I can't read this thing. It throws off your brain. Where do you have any of those?
Well, call my husband because I once yelled at him for blinking too loud.
He blinks loud.
He
for
blinks
real.
so loud. But I have superhuman hearing. So
But that's not a disease. That's just being married.
Probably.
Yeah. I think
That's,
there's a difference between. But are you
I
guys
remember
like
a woman yelling at her husband for breathing.
Oh,
I've had that
Just
before.
Breathing
loud or
Yeah.
doing. I ask at my shows. I always ask that. I go, what one thing does your partner do that kind of bugs you? And it's a lot of like gulping, or he smacks his lips, or
yeah. I hate Luca. Luca clears his throat on a decibel that just irritates my ears. It's such a. That's my.
And
Well,
you have misophonia.
Tam, tell him the dementia story when we were driving here. What did John just
Johnny
do?
says to us, we're driving over because we all live together in the same little house.
Ever since last comic,
we've never left each other's
we're
side.
still in the castle. We're in the tower.
We all live together. And
By the way, on a side note, you know how many porns I've seen that have been shot in that castle we were in?
can I
Is it
tell you
weird
this
that I
story?
randomly come across them where I'm like, oh, that was
No,
totally
you
in the
want to know
kitchen.
the
We
weirdest
ate
porn
it.
story?
Like, yeah.
I don't know if I should even. I recently saw a porn that was shot from a guy's perspective, and I thought, wow, that voice sounds familiar. And it was my ex. And I totally recognized him in the. I mean, can you imagine watching a porn and
Now,
you
is
see
that
someone you
is
used to
that
date?
good for you? Because and we're going to get back to the dementia story, but this is a male-female thing with porn. Because with men, if you hook up with a porn star, that's points in the man world. Like
he's not a porn star. He's just like a random douche.
Well, that's
that
what I'm
shot a
saying,
porn
though,
from
but
his perspective,
like
not
for-
even willing to put his own face on.
But what I'm saying is, like, for a guy, when a guy hooks up with a porn star, like, that's a great story. Like, you tell your boys,
Right.
they're like, oh, man, like, if you see a porno and you're like, oh, I did her. Guys are like, yeah, you the man. So you've done the guy in the porn. Now, in the woman's world, do you get points for that?
No, it's worse to see him bang someone else, and even though I don't like him, and then I got to recognize him by his pee. It's just horrible.
Okay,
It's
let
like
me ask you this question.
It's a bad rape thing.
How did you?
I don't want to get in. One time when I was fishing, it's a Broadway story. I don't want it. What?
But it was just randomly you happened to come across. Were you searching
Johnny,
for him, or were you just
no.
it's
Yeah,
a Friday
no,
night
Johnny,
after a show?
yeah,
You went to the vending machine. You bought some Munchos. Got a little Funyuns next to you. Maybe a Mountain
let's
Dew,
just
and
say
in your
that
brain you're thinking,
somehow-
I shouldn't have a Mountain Dew. It's 2 a.m. But yeah, what? And then I'll check my email. I'll Twitter. Hey, what's on this website?
Yeah.
Because that's usually I just describe pretty much every Friday night.
I went to Google something and it just popped up. Let's just say,
All right.
You know what I mean? Like it was an ad.
Back to dementia.
Girls Google porn, or
No,
do
I was
girls have a
just
site
kidding.
they
It's
go to?
Pornhub. It's free porn.
You know what I don't like about those is there should be a disclaimer if you're watching a porn and you think it's a girl and then it turns out not to be.
I've never seen that.
I've had that.
That doesn't happen accidentally.
No,
Yeah,
it
come on.
does.
When it's called
It-
ladyboy.com.
It doesn't
Yeah.
say that.
Tranny.
It doesn't. No. Sometimes the
Trannyporn.com.
titles
Chicks with
are
dicks.
misleading. Sometimes the title. Again, has that ever happened to you?
No,
It
he's
happened.
lying. His name is Gint.
Yeah, he's a Gint.
We keep them in a box.
Under the steps.
So your thing, and then you heard the guy's voice.
I heard his first one. I saw his hands, and I'm like, okay, because I'm about hands, so I'm like looking at his hands. And I'm like, oh, those are nice hands. And then I'm like, I know those hands. They look like somebody's hands. And then I saw.
I've felt those hands.
Then I'm really listening to the voice, right? And I'm hearing, and then the way that he talks or things that he said. It was a guy that I dated for a long time, like years. And
you found this randomly.
I swear to God, I've never seen it. Yeah, call Kathleen. I was having a heart attack. Then when you saw like full frontal, I was like, holy shit! It
You
is so ridiculous.
recognized him just from his
Hands, his voice, his mannerisms with his speech and
Mannerisms.
his
Is that what the kids are calling it now?
Yes. And his man.
Hey, check out his mannerisms.
Yeah, I can't wait to run into him.
Well,
like, it's not
Heffron-
worth a phone call to call him to tell him I saw it, but I can't wait to see him because he has no idea that someone would see it. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds someone would see it that knows him, let alone like someone he used to date? You know
I don't know
mean?
if I've ever watched a porn with the sound on.
Yeah. Well, I am a girl.
Well, John's accidentally run into a few mannerisms in his porn searching.
Yeah, apparently.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
Heffron and Reep will be right back.
I'm just addicted to it.
Oh, yeah.
Just all around cool. They're awesome. Number 1.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
A great website if you are in the market for gift giving, redenvelope.com. They have over 300 unique and inspired new products along with their classic favorites that are going to make gift giving very, very easy. All you have to do is go to redenvelope.com, enter Heidi and Frank at the checkout, and save 20%.
The Kings can wear their crown.
The Stanley Cup comes to Los Angeles for the first time ever.
A Stanley Cup for the Los Angeles Kings.
Own the 2012 NHL champs on Blu-ray combo pack and DVD.
Dustin Penner has sent the Kings to the final.
Get exclusive Blu-ray content, including extended interviews and parade celebration.
What a move by Kopitar!
Experience the historical run.
Say bye quick!
Own the official NHL Los Angeles Kings 2012 Stanley Cup champions on Blu-ray combo pack and DVD July.
Saturday night, August 25th. It's the hottest party to hit the West Valley since, well, ever. Heidi and Frank, after hours live at the Canyon Club.
You're doing shows out in the garage? This is classy.
See Heidi, Frank, Smeeze, and their cast of characters doing their live stage show.
There's nothing like watching water run down this body.
Plus, the Tasty Thieves will rock the house. Heidi and Frank, after hours live at the Canyon Club. Saturday night, August 25th. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster or Canyon. If you haven't been listening to App Addicts...
Speaking of dumb apps, we got this cow tipping, crazy flipping app, and there's this national threat advisory app, and it should be the crap app of the week. All the app does is it shows you the latest advisory level from Homeland Security, right? This is to keep you in fear. No updates, no info, no news, no reason, nothing except a color advisory level stating that we're at, a possible problem.
DEFCON 7. Orange level because some guy that looked a little brown got on an airplane and pulled on his underwear.
App Addicts, Fridays at 4 Pacific, only on the Toad Hop Network. Radio worth watching.
If you want to make a move, then you better come in. It's just ability, that reason that we're so thin. Living and dying and the stories that are true. Sink into a collapse, knowing when you're through. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Those back in the hole where they got him living like a rapper, they smarter than that. 9 lives like a cat, 15 years old, take them to the youth authority home. First thing you learn, you gotta make it in this world alone. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Now he's gone out, he got free, he got a coat, got a car. He's 21 years old, he's running numbers from the bar. He's paying his people, he's getting deep in whatever he can move on, and you know that kid a creeping. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac. Before the time bomb. Before the time Disco from the resurrection tattooed below his eye. His mother cries, she knows that he is strong enough to die. He's rolling in the Cadillac, it's midnight, some roof is down. 3 shots right out of here and then the new king is crowned. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, Cadillac, yeah. Before the time bomb.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.
Heffron and Reep. Follow them on Twitter.
Totally for sure.
At Heffron and Reep. Lock it in and rip the knob off. You're tuned in to the #1 show on the planet. The Heffron and Reep Show.
We are back from that break because, like I said, it's tough. You listen to 14 minutes of a podcast. You need to stop in the middle of it for 5 minutes just to regroup. So I think it's important that we do that every podcast. I think we stop. See, if I was running places around here, I wouldn't do that. But sometimes you forget that, we don't pay for studios and they have people working for us. So that is the price we pay.
That's right.
We have to stop, play a
Gint
little
needs
thing.
a break.
Gint needs
cannot
a break.
work an hour.
Potty breaks.
And this is so much better than doing the podcast at my house because we've been interrupted 700 times from my wife asking questions just randomly. You're going to get to the garbage, you're going to do this, and you're like, hey, I'm doing a show.
The last time I did the Heffron and Reep podcast, do we remember where we did that?
At the ice house, right?
Where were we?
At some friend of yours' house in Burbank?
Oh, okay, yeah. At an apartment.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, look how nice
beautiful.
this looks.
Moved up.
It's a studio.
Moved
It's got Chinese lanterns.
It's talk amongst yourselves real quick.
And it's got no Reep.
No, I know.
Although
that was our whole point. Let's go. Let's leave.
Yeah, because he told us there'd be
We
Reep.
live with Heffron.
Hey, we know Heff.
Well, speaking of that, let's try this.
There's a guest on the phone.
Now, if we hit the middle right there, if I did it correctly, if I hit this button, did I hit it?
I think you did. You
Hey,
hit
Gint,
it.
I think
you
you
have
hung
one
up.
job, Gint, and
And
that's
he's
to make
gone
sure
during
I don't
this.
look dumb, and then you leave.
Well, he's
you know
gone.
It's kids today.
I know.
I mean, it's serious. Can you find good help that you don't pay?
Well,
can
you
you
should have known
find
by there he
good
is. He's
help?
got
They
a
used
thumbs
to be
up.
hungry
He's
and
smile.
work for free.
Now can we
He
do it
lives
like
here.
we're professional and if this isn't our first rodeo?
There's a guest on the phone.
Here we go.
Hello, guest on the phone.
Hey,
Hi, this is John Heffron from the John Heffron.
where's Jon Reep?
You know what? He let's just
That's
say.
why you gotta let him talk more. How come he's not saying nothing?
Well, let's see. John went away, and in Hollywood terms, he went away because he was very tired. John was suffering from exhaustion and needed to go someplace.
Was that a word?
Exhaustion.
I started to say exhaustion.
That's a combination of
Wow.
like exhaustion and indigestion.
John is really suffering if he has exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
I'm
That's how
sorry to hear that.
exhausted
He's a
he
friend
is.
of mine.
He
He
can't
looked
get
so
out to
good
work.
last I saw him.
That's a southern term.
For those of you listening on
Exhaustion.
the
It's a
phone
piggly wiggly.
right now, this would be Jon Reep, as we like to call him. Hold on, John. You haven't heard this yet. This is for when I play stand-up of you. Whenever you decide to grace again. I had the guy just do this. Ready? Listen.
Okay.
Reep.
I like that.
That was wonderful.
Reep.
Nice.
Reep.
Wow.
Reep.
Well, that's wonderful. We miss you.
I miss you guys. Thanks for filling in.
Oh, my God. You're like a big movie star now?
That's right.
I was just
Congrats,
sitting
man.
here- I'm actually sitting here in a hotel room in Pontiac, Michigan. Not even Detroit, Pontiac, Michigan.
Right.
At a Residence Inn. And I was just trying to,
What are you doing, a Michael Moore movie?
You just ruined the fantasy for so many fans.
Yeah, we just said you're away doing a movie, and now you just said you're in Pontiac, Michigan, which, by the way, that entire city almost was up for sale. There was a point in Pontiac, Michigan, where they were selling every municipal building in that entire city.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I bet
can
you
get a
had a
house
plot
here.
to buy them.
You can get a house for like $20 out here. I mean, there's whole neighborhoods for sale. It's insane.
So you're on the movie set, and you've been on the movie set for... Is that your phone, Alonzo, making that weird?
Dude, I
No.
think it's this shitty hotel phone I'm on right now.
Oh, yeah, because they're probably tapping your phone.
Look at Jon Reep depositing money to the Wounded Warriors from Pontiac, Michigan.
See? So, but Johnny, who else is on the phone? I mean, who else is on the film with you?
I didn't hear the bell go off, so I'll just do it. There you go.
So you're a weekend. Do you have any good Hollywood insider stories? So when your movie that Jon Reep is on, we can watch it and go, oh, yeah, we totally knew that was going to happen.
No, it's just not going to come out for like a year or so, but they're calling it right now the Untitled Tornado Project.
And who else is on the film with you? We would know any of the names?
You might. There was do you watch what's that zombie? Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Sure.
The lead girl in that is in this. Then you've got a guy, Richard Armitage, is in it. He's doing The Hobbit right now.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
And then you've got Matt Walsh, who's a funny stand. He was the asshole doctor thing, and in the Hangover.
Oh, okay.
He was in Ted. He was like, he's been in lots of stuff. You know his face.
Yeah.
Now, John, I was watching on your wife's Facebook page as I'm wondering.
What are you doing out there? Get off of that.
He knows you're out of town, so he's trying to close the
This is
deal.
what happens. This is Hollywood.
You know, Hef.
I keep checking in at random restaurants within a walking distance of your apartment, but she's not picking up on the clue. But I see on there that she's
she's picking up on it.
Yeah, that she's worried because apparently you're doing your own stunts on this movie.
Oh, wow.
She's just saying that. I had I'm going to get sucked up by a tornado. And
that's awesome.
That's the only stunt I really have
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Whoops.
Now you're fired.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to say. I've been reading
Now,
my contract.
correct me if I'm wrong, Reep, but a guy from the South getting sucked up out of a trailer in a tornado, that's not that unusual, is it?
Well, you added trailer.
That's right. Trust me, he held back. He wanted to say dog and pickup.
So, John.
Well, it's funny. My character is basically, shocker, huge, sort of rednecky white trash guy. I got a little partner, and we were like wannabe stunt guys. Like we were just trying to get famous off creating crazy YouTube videos and trying to get rich that way. And we see these tornado chasers come through our town, and we decide we want to be like them, and we take our piece of shit Toyota truck, and we put like 2x4s on it, and this paneling and stuff, and we call ourselves the Twister Hunters. And so the only stunt I'm doing is when they harness me. They put a harness on me and they stuck me up at 50 feet in the air to look like I'm getting sucked into a tornado. So that's a lot of fun, actually. That's not even that dangerous. It's just fun.
And so besides them putting you up in a hotel with a hissing phone, what kind of... how long are your days? I always wonder about that. I've never been on a movie. So are all day? Is it crazy? Are you shooting stuff and then
are you shooting
Pontiac
every day?
TMZ are all over you, or is it a lot of waiting around?
It's a lot of waiting around. They got me up here for till October 1st.
Oh, my God.
They're going to have me. But they say that they could be done before that, which I doubt it. But it's like I get picked up at 10 o'clock in the morning or 9. We drive an hour to where the base camp is.
Okay.
And then you have a breakfast burrito. And then you go to your little trailer, which is not a full trailer. It's like a third of a trailer. But it's pretty cool. It's got a little... TV, fridge, microwave. They got Wi-Fi. I got a bathroom. So it's you just get a little bed. Just go in there and take a nap, and then you go there, you eat your burrito, and then you get a hair and makeup, which takes all of 2 seconds for me.
Right. Because you're a guy getting sucked up by a tornado. So how good does your hair have to look?
The part in my hair.
Right.
And then I go back to my trailer and just hang out until they call me, and that usually it's been they wait until 6 o'clock at night.
Oh, my God.
And then I get called, and I do 4 takes of a scene, and then we're done.
What a job.
Every day, though, John?
I got to get up, go to work, have breakfast, take a nap. That's how my day starts. No wonder everyone wants to be a movie star.
And
That's
go,
the
it's
greatest
windy.
job
It's
description
windy.
I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you got to get on one of these. It's the best.
How many days do you work, though? Do you have a bunch of days that you're not working? Because you can't...
Like right now.
Yeah,
I'm not working. I didn't work today. And I don't know until the next day if I'm going to be working.
Got it.
Because a lot of it is dependent on the weather. They need the skies to be gray looking.
Right.
So if it's really sunny out like it is today, they're going to shoot the high school scenes, the interior stuff. So it was just a lot of I didn't do shit today. I just been sitting here looking up Tammy Pescatelli's ex-boyfriend porn.
Hey, have you ever been looking at porn and just accidentally had a dick just
Seen a
pop
penis?
up?
Yeah, it randomly happens. Sometimes.
I don't know. He's so...
I'm telling you, I'm not looking at ladies.
Only you, Johnny. No, that's not...
You
No,
are covering
only
for your
Heffron.
partner.
I can tell
I don't know how
it
you...
affected me so bad, I can even tell you what the porn was.
I bet you
What
can,
was
but
it?
that's
What
because
was
you
it?
favorited
I want to
it.
know.
That's why.
You saw the back shot. You just saw the back shot of this person, and then it's somehow, and then you never saw
So
any
from the
of
back,
the
you
stuff.
thought it was a woman.
Yes, and then you didn't see any of the stuff, and then they kind of hang out as people in porn do,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it's Kazam, and you're like, what am I watching? And then it's like you're in the crying game when you're in the shower, to the point where it ruined my going online. Like now I own
You only
I'm
go
afraid to go to
places
certain sites because.
So
Right.
could it be that your wife planted this porn bomb to stop you from checking porn when you're on the road?
There you go.
No, my wife, the only thing my wife would complain about if she ever checked into my browser would be this website that tells you the value of your home. It's like Zillow.com. You type in your address and tells you what your house is. She would rather catch me looking at porn than looking at the value of my house, because I will look at the value of my house and walk around more bummed than seeing lady tranny porn because my house has lost so much value. So I check into it on a daily basis going, oh,
$2. We're up $2.
Yeah,
We're up $2.
So she would rather catch me looking at porn.
Well, I'm probably going to get divorced after that statement that I just happened to tell everybody.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know what's crazier, randomly, accidentally falling into tranny porn or accidentally falling into ex-boyfriend porn. One of them seems, I would say, if you were to say you were searching for one of them, which one could you accidentally find more?
No, because I swear to God, he has there's nothing about it. Like, if I show you the thing, there's nothing about it that would lead you to him. That's why he shot it from the camera's perspective. There's no face.
Right.
So when you two were together, you kept the videos at home. You didn't go public.
Wait.
Did you recognize that ass at all? And did it remind you of yours?
I have to tell you, that's the truth. Because then you go, wait a second, and then you try to search that person's account, because I don't know how many other... how many other videos are there?
Tammy, did you recognize the chick he was with in that video?
It's a weird thing. She looked vaguely familiar, but a lot younger.
So it could have been your ass.
Wasn't me. It was Chelsea Peretti.
All right, so John, you're on the movie set for a while, but we're going to see you in here sometime soon, because last week I did the show without you. Almost had a little mild breakdown. Some of the tweets were people saying that I was complaining that we don't have any listeners. I said that one time.
Complaining?
The only thing I said is because we don't have a website or anything, I have no idea how many people do listen to the show, because I've seen no stats. That's the only. So it wasn't me complaining. It's just like, I'm just saying I would like to know numbers.
First of all, let's go back to the original idea.
He was complaining.
Right. And Zoe and I were driving. Listen to this, Reep. We're driving in the car with Heffron, and we're on our way here. And I think he didn't think we were going to show up, so he had made sure that we met him before. He blamed it on a parking pass.
And to show you how I don't like change in my life, John, I actually parked where I parked to pick you up, just to let you know.
Oh, wow. So, that's a long walk.
Right. So so we're driving over here, and he goes, yeah, guys, I think I have Alzheimer's. Oh, I forgot my papers.
John.
Yeah.
Reep, when did he become an old woman? I'm worried about him.
I don't know. I think he's always been an old woman.
See, maybe I just didn't notice it.
I'm in the middle. I believe that there were glimpses of it, but I think he's now just predisposed.
Yeah.
Now, Tammy, you were on his season of Last Comic Standing, right?
Yeah, all of us. The three of us.
we were on together.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So you guys experienced it up close and personal way before I did.
The only obsession I remember with Hef was how much money did we make?
Well, Johnny and I went on the road for a long time
week
afterwards, and so there was all our little idiosyncrasies, I think, came out too.
I would do that, John. On our show, I kept asking Alonzo, if I stay in the house one more week, how much money do you make? Because you make, for those listening, you get union dues or union scale.
Right.
So it's like, if you do the Tonight, if I was to do the Tonight Show and Tom Cruise does the Tonight Show, we get paid the same because it's one appearance. So I believe it was $600 a week.
Yeah, something like that.
No, not a week. It was a day. Because we got paid for the day, and you got paid for when it aired.
Okay, so in my brain, though, I kept going, if I don't get voted out of the house one more week, I'm totally buying that massage chair at Sharper Image.
Oh, my God, it was the massage chair.
Right.
It was the massage chair.
Oh, you might remember it being in your brain, but we remember it being out loud that we had to listen to. And you know what it was? It was the video game chair. It was the live gaming chair.
Calves in case because you became such a sloth. I will tell you this. Here's what I remember, Johnny. This is what I remember. He literally, we get to Vegas, and now they're announcing the 10 people who are going into the house. And the curtain closes, and we're all back there. And John looks at me and goes, so we're going to make at least $100,000 this year. This is a six-figure year.
I've been to his house. I've seen
it's a six-figure year.
You've seen the chair, and the chair now is completely in the way of everything.
It lost value too.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to get rid of the chair. Yeah, I want to get rid of the chair, but at the same token, I'm like, I don't want to get rid of the chair.
You can't ever get rid of the chair.
It was a big purchase.
Because this chair represents, I don't know what it represents, but I literally, that would people go, how'd you win Last Comic? What how'd you think of your act? I don't know. I was just working for a massage chair.
Right.
It was the only thing that was in my
Focused.
head.
Well, we all,
He was
we all
focused.
got health insurance. That was the
Yeah,
year that
that
we
was-
became
that was a
adults,
good
and we
year.
got health insurance. That
That
was the
was-
big
And the
deal.
year after, I had health insurance. I
Yeah.
had
And that was-
residual
Nice.
health
Yeah.
insurance.
Hey, John, maybe you could auction the chair off and then give raise money for the Wounded Warriors Project.
Maybe we could do something like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Hey, John, want to play a game?
Of course.
Okay. Usually now you'll know what it feels like to be on the other end here. Okay.
Oh God.
All right.
Every one he gets wrong, we donate $1 to the Wounded Warriors. John, I don't have to explain the game to you. You know what it is. Ready?
Right.
You're gonna have to pick A or B.
Hey.
All right. Is it gonna be the first? Okay. Here you go. This is either a great roller coaster or a bad movie. John is on a set of a movie. It's not going to be a
Right.
bad movie, but that's why I picked this. Is it a great roller coaster or a bad movie? John, first one, Millennium Force. Millennium Force. Unlike John's breakdancing group that was called Cosmic Force back in the 80s, which we got to figure that out. We got to find more Cosmic Force members, John. But bad movie or roller coaster? A, roller coaster. B, movie. Millennium Force. Yes.
You're saying Millennium Force.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to say that is a bad roller coaster.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Clappity clap, clap, clap.
Wait, but he
said a
morphed
bad
a bad
roller
roller coaster. He picked
Good
both
move,
answers.
Reep.
That was
Good move.
wonderful.
Oh, wait, what?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, I'm
there.
gonna go to the judges.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be great roller coaster or bad movie, and he said
my
bad
bad.
roller coaster because
See?
he's brilliant.
We heard it.
He loses that one.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. My bad.
Now watch this. Here's what I do sometimes to dumb people down a little bit to make it a little bit harder. I don't know if it
By the
works.
way, I got all of them right.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag or
But
anything,
here-
but I won this position.
Let's
I've
do.
never
Ready,
played
here-
the game.
All right, here we go. Oh, Alonzo, we'll play next, but hold on. Ready? We'll do this. Okay, here we go. Next one. Is it a great roller coaster or bad movie? Agent Red.
Bad movie.
You're right.
Yes.
He's good.
There you go.
He's good.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren was also in the movie. That's who was there. We need clapping when someone.
Here.
Here's the next one.
And I
Last
feel
one.
like the early Howard Stern
Yeah.
years.
Great roller coaster, bad movie. The Riddler's Revenge.
That's a roller coaster.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're all right.
Where did all those people come from?
Maybe we need to make the
Gint.
game. I don't know how to turn this. Maybe we need to make the game harder. Let me ask
Like
Alonzo.
how?
John, do you have more time? Do you have to go off and be Hollywoody?
No, I'm enjoying. I'm good. I got nothing to do.
He's got to
Okay.
file a
I just-
restraining order against his stalker.
At some point, I got to go down to the lobby and get the free Salisbury steak that they're serving, and that's it.
I haven't had
Delicious.
I love those residence inns. I love them. They have
Yeah.
the meals, but it's
Do they?
Yeah, they have them Monday through Friday. Saturday, Sunday, you're like ass out. Like you're just walking around going, "Where's my free stuff? Where's my
Yeah.
free stuff?"
It's like a little studio apartment. They got like a
I
full
thought they
fridge.
just had free cookies.
No,
Yeah.
residence inns. They have full meals at 5:00 every night. They have some kind of 5 to 7. You guys have been there, right? We used to play the Dayton
Spaghetti.
Funny Bone or Jokers in Dayton.
When you guys
That's
are
what
at
it
your
was.
hotel, do you let housekeeping in your room at all
Never.
during the
No.
course of the week?
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
do.
talking-
I
Mark
don't care.
Curry told me not to. Bill Cosby told him not to because they said that the story goes is that they believe that because we're on television, we have a lot of money, and that anything that they would take, we can replace. So they still
I've never
have
had
it.
anything stolen by
I
a
don't
maid
think-
or a
I
housekeeper.
don't think any of the maids that I let in here even know who the hell I am anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're gonna like tweet from my account or something like that.
I just don't like anybody in my space. I'm also like really kind of.
But it's a fresh room.
That.
Like then you go to a show and you come back and then your room isn't a pigsty.
Yeah.
Love that.
I don't care.
I might start.
I make my own bed at the hotel.
I
I'm
will
not
say though,
dirty.
without I don't know if you.
That would freak them out, Tam. If they
You
come
know-
in to clean and you've already made up your own bed,
I
they'd
do.
be
I
like,
clean
"What the
my
hell?"
own room.
I
you
do
know.
that sometimes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to let him in and just sit here and watch him while I watch TV.
Well, there's a lot of times the clubs will send a car service to pick you up. That's in your thing, so you don't
Right.
have to hitchhike back to the club. Do you realize how much money less I've paid a year because I did a show with Alonzo and Jon Reep? I forgot this was a year or two ago. Weird thing, and I said how much I tipped those guys, and you guys both said I was crazy. So because of you, they get less money because of you guys.
thanks.
Just to let you know.
Don't pin it on us.
No, it was you guys.
Car service?
I
You
sh-
don't-
yeah.
You don't
What
tip
would
them
you-
now?
No. Let's say, but now that I don't know. If,
Okay, like the car service that takes me to the airport, or the guy picking me up from the
picks you up
airport.
from the airport. You arrive in whatever city you're going. The guy drives you 30 minutes. What do you give that guy at
Sometimes it depends on how long the ride, but $10 or $20.
10 or 20. Do you tip the guy more? Because there's two different car service. There's we'll meet you outside and you got to flag the guy down, or a guy who comes in
that guy
holding sign.
He gets the 20.
You give him $20, the guy who meets you at the thing, and then you scale it down. The guy who you have to find.
Well, that's what we said we give 10 or 20, but I base it more on the length of the ride.
Well, sometimes those guys already get tip anyway. Like
They do,
they
but
already all
you
get
just
tipped.
don't. We only do this so they don't talk about you.
Yeah.
And they talk
That's
about
the
every
reason.
other comp.
That's the whole reason.
I've
But
never
I give
been in
them
a
10
car.
or 20 based on the length of the, like if it's
what's the thing?
If it's 10 minutes, if it's like, you know, the hotel's right there, and I'll probably give them 10. But otherwise, if it's a half-hour drive, I'd definitely get a guy $20.
But I tip everybody. I put down the money. I leave it for the maid. She doesn't even do anything.
I tip the maid. What do you tip the maid? I leave money for the maids.
Well,
depending on how much. But I used to take sleeping pills, and I would eat at night. And there's been times where I've woke up where obviously I was eating tomato soup, and I fall asleep where my mattress is completely red.
Oh, come on, John!
Again,
I swear to God that happened.
No, you know
I
what
have
this
happened
is?
to anybody.
I have
who it
told that
happens to?
story before.
Tammy, you know who it happens to? Old women who
Oh
fall
my
asleep
God.
while they're
my
eating.
tomato
I told you,
soup. I
he's
took
become
my
an old
sleeping
woman.
pills and my tomato
He has
soup
become an
spilled.
old woman. That's
next
an
to
old woman
next
story.
to my sweater.
I was taking my medication.
My Argyle sweater.
Oh
got all
Lord, my medication put me to sleep.
And then I was
love him.
watching Matlock.
I have talked about this before, where I eat when I'm on sleeping pills. Like, I will go in my room, there'll be no food, and I'll wake up, and I've apparently made 4 Easy Mac and cheese that you put water in and microwave it, where there'll be 4 of them completely destroyed, and I don't remember getting them.
Yeah.
You're like that little kid. Do you ever see those shows where they have to chain the refrigerator because the kid wakes up and he eats in the middle of the night?
But I've woken up where I had tomato soup, and then I woke up the next morning, my shirt all red, sheets all red.
Didn't you think somebody killed
I thought
somebody?
somebody slit my throat. I completely jumped up and grabbed my throat.
It's like the Godfather minus the horse.
And you know what? And in Montreal,
And that's why he doesn't let the maid in, because maids are known to slit your throat in your sleep and then
from the
pour
hooker
tomato
that
soup
disappeared.
on you.
And then we never heard from that lady
No,
boy
it was
again.
the hooker, right? It was the lady boy hooker who came in.
there was, as we're doing this, when I was in Montreal.
Only your friends could rag you like this. Like, this doesn't happen from regular guests.
Okay, when I was in Montreal, this past week, this is the last time, I had a protein drink, like one of those chocolate,
Stop
meal
bragging.
replacement things, right? And I took a sleeping pill, and I fell asleep, and I woke up to, I guess, here, let me show the camera for those of you watching, but I woke up to that.
You shit the bed,
That
Johnny.
is not.
That is
look,
not.
Alonzo, that I fell
the
asleep.
bed. It looks like don't show me your bed shit.
I didn't shit the bed.
See your
I
shark.
fell asleep
No.
with a chocolate thing.
Oh
so
my
I
God!
had to
In
leave
your ass.
here.
That's where you fell asleep with a
Tammy.
chocolate thing in
I
your
will,
ass.
I will show
Tammy,
that.
let me tell you why that was a horrible experience, because while we were at the hotel in Montreal, they went on strike.
Yeah, they
so
did.
there was no maid
I
service.
know.
There was nobody cleaning
heard
up.
about-
So you had
but
to
also,
sleep
that's why-
with a, quote, chocolate milk bed.
That was
for
chocolate
a
milk.
week.
Please, John, that is why they hate Americans. That's what you did in Montreal.
But I tip. How much do I leave money for at the end, especially if I do something like
Well,
that?
if
you
you're
shit the
chocolate
bed.
milking the bed, you should leave some money.
You gotta be kidding me.
That one actually,
never-
I took all the sheets off.
No wonder you have Alzheimer's. It's convenient.
Hey, Reep, when you guys take this show on the road, be sure and get a separate room. I'm just saying.
Hey, guys, real quick, because we have a minute, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go round robin, and everybody can plug stuff. Hold on, Jon Reep. We'll let you go first. Ready? Hold on.
Heffron and Reep, shameless plug.
John, where you at over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I may be in the Chattanooga Comedy Catch August 16 through 19, and then in September, Jacksonville Comedy Zone, Tammy.
Oh, boy,
All right, here
baby.
we go. Tammy.
And Reep, shameless plugs.
Next week, be at the Comedy Works in Denver, the South Club.
Perfect. Alonzo.
This weekend, I am at Dr. Grin's in Grand Rapids, and Sunday I'll be at the Ice House in Pasadena.
Heffron.
Heffron.
Yeah, I will be in Atlanta, whatever date it is now. And then the last part, I will be in Louisville, shatting myself. And then after that, I am in San Francisco We're going to get the Heffron and Reep. Well, we're going to get the Heffron and Reep website up really quick.
He can't talk anymore. He's a mess. He is a mess.
But always make sure. Oh, by the way, the totals. Reep, you've donated $5 to the Wounded Warriors because you swore. I had a light one, $3, so $8. The show went to.
I thought I donated $1.
Yeah,
and I need to give a couple because I didn't.
You're in the mix.
Because you with your chocolate.
Yeah. And then we'll get our website up to date, John. One day, right?
One of these days we'll have a website.
All right, perfect. And guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you,
oh my
sir.
God, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Listen, I'm not sitting. We're catching our own ride to the.
Let's see. Let's go see what he's forgotten.
What if by the way, me and sleeping pill and shits the car.
By the way, the three of us are going to do a show with Jay Leno. So collectively, all three of us, we're going to ask him how come he never has us on the show.
Any of us on the show.
So we'll let you know how that works out, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, Circle.
Follow them on Twitter.
Totally for sure.
At Heffron and Reep. Heffron and Reep.
Oh, yay! All the radio announcements actually have a personality. They're not sitting there all monodrone.
They always are coming up with new stuff, new twists.
Yeah! Every once in a while, you guys are not boring.
You're listening to Heffron and Reep.
You're listening to the Toad Hop Network, radio worth watching.